Greetings, humanoids of the internets! My name is Bob, and this is episode 115 of Journey into Space! Journey into Space. Now we are working on our hopefully improved version of the Minmus tourism spaceplane that will hopefully get tourists in very cramped accommodations to Minmus. However, we don't know yet whether it will take off the ground. So we have to do testing. Testing is going to consist of getting to orbit, seeing whether we have enough fuel once we reach orbit to actually get to Minmus, and then returning safely, hopefully, to the Earth. One thing I may have forgotten. Let's see, do I have an abort set up? Might be good. Save and launch. Now the original spaceplane was not very quick to get off the starting block here. It was sort of ungainly in the air to start off with. This is probably going to be even worse, so we shall see. Excuse me. Alright. Fire up the engines. Well, we got off the ground. That's always a good sign. Oh, damn. The headphones are getting in my way there for a second. Well, perhaps we should put on the SAS. Again, our acceleration is less than stellar right now. It doesn't really matter right now. Okay, this may take a while, so we'll be right back. Okay, round about here is where stuff starts to hit the nub. Kind of hard to keep the nose up. And there's no RCS on this because to save weight. General idea is we get up to about 20,000 meters, level it off and start picking up velocity, and keep on doing that until we run out of air. Level off a little bit. Okay, so now the name of the game is to start picking up horizontal velocity. Just keeping my prograde symbol just above the horizon line there. Having to do some fairly active interference with the now we're starting to really pick up some speed. Let's run the thinner air. a little bit. And because I have only one jet engine, even if it burns out, it's probably not going to make it spin out of control. Oh, come on, come on, come on. Gotta get up. Somebody be raising altitude here, buddy. Sort of a delicate dance between my fuel supply and getting maximum velocity going while the jet engines are still running. Okay, we can just let it be now. Appears to have stabilized a bit. Now we're running out of air. Level off just a little bit. Go ahead and turn the nuclear rockets on. Down to 0.07 air. Level it off a little bit. We're going to run out of air fast. Okay, standing by to shut down the jet engines. Oh, we just barely have a little bit of air. Barely. Just barely. It's eking out that last little bit of air. We need to start going vertical here pretty shortly. We're still just barely getting some air to the engines. Just barely. Okay, killing the jets. Let's see what our 38,000. Go ahead and go totally vertical. Okay, we're getting there. Make sure the engines aren't overheating. Nope, we're okay. Come on, dude. Need to get that thing up there. Yeah, we're creeping up on our aft axis here, which isn't good. The nuke engines may not have enough power for this. I'd have to add supplemental engines. Yep, that's what I'm going to need to do. Okay, getting this thing this far has been a royal pain in my ass. It is not happy at low altitudes. Need to go almost level and get the most speed out of it at this point. I said almost level, not completely level. Okay. Alright, just let it spin its wheels for a minute. I finally had the luxury of not having to fight this thing to get its nose up the whole time. Alright, let's get down a little bit. Take it down a little bit. Down, please. I added some engines down here just to give it a little bit of extra oomph to get it to space. And this time I'm going to let the jet engines burn out. I'm not going to shut them off prematurely because obviously I need every second of thrust that I can get. We'll go ahead and turn on the nuclear engines. Level it off a little bit. Yeah, it's okay. Okay, we're gonna let the jet engines actually burn themselves out. Then we'll shut them off. Attitude's looking pretty good. It's about where I want it. Just a little bit above the horizon, so we keep on keep the speed up. Go ahead and turn on the secondary engines. Or not. Yeah, I thought somehow that would I'd be able to keep that under control, but I can't. I knew that it was off center. Okay, I think we can probably safely shut the engine down now. Yes. Okay, let's see what we got. Orbit, pretty much. Okay, let's go ahead and kill it. Oh, kill it. So Apoapsis. Apoapsis is nice. And assuming it doesn't take too much for us to get the orbit evened out, we should probably have enough to get us to Minmus. I'll go ahead and see how that works out, and we'll be back. Okay, we've achieved orbit. Now we got to make sure that this configuration can also land. Sorry, the testing phase is a little tedious, but you know, in a real space program, you got to test passenger spacecraft before you actually put paying passengers in, because killing your paying passengers is considered bad form. So I apologize if this is a tad tedious. Okay. Also, I'm coming in from a higher altitude than I was before. Let's scooch this up a little bit. Scooch that in a bit. Okay, I think that should be okay. Let's go ahead and start. If we overshoot or undershoot our wow, that has taken a long time, and I can't turn on the subsidiary engines because okay, well let's try that from a lower altitude then. Okay, I've slightly lost control. I was trying to fine-tune my approach. We were going to do a light night landing. I was trying to fine-tune my approach, and probably got going a little too fast, lost a little control, sort of thing that happens, you know. Go ahead and turn off my nuclear engines, turn on my jet engines. Get back on heading. Okay. No worries so far. They're using my supplemental engines a little bit. Okay, well I can see the Kerbal Space Center. I'm not quite sure how I'm lined up on the runway, but I assume that I'm actually a little bit off. Need to go a little bit this way. And at low altitudes this thing handles like a manatee. Although actually that was the first time I actually spun out of control. And seeing as how I was burning up in the atmosphere at the time, that's probably kind of understandable. Okay, well, fortunately they have lights to the runway now, so I should be able to see the runway lights and tell me which way I should be pointing. And then, assuming that this landing is successful, what we'll do is we will just make a minor alteration, move these engines to be in line with the other ones, and then we'll go ahead and take some passengers, some lucky passengers, to Minmus. But we have to complete our testing program, scanty though it is, and it is probably by the standards of really professional testing pretty lame, but yeah, we're on a budget. We've got deadlines to meet. I think I'm going to follow this flight path until I can actually see where I'm supposed to be going. Oh, I see. Yeah, those lights don't show up too well from this distance. Let's go and kill the engine. Go ahead and turn off the jet engine. Turn back on the nuclear engines in case we need some very light, fine controls for landing. Or to stay up in the air. It doesn't seem to want to do that right now. I don't know if I want to add some extensions to these wings. They don't seem to be giving me a tremendous amount of lift here. Let's go ahead and get a little rocket power on. Go ahead and drop our gear. It's not really a night landing, it's a twilight landing. Okay, tap our brakes. Lock our brakes. That was damn near perfect. I mean, I was almost short of the runway, but I wasn't, in fact, short of the runway. Okay, well, we will make our minor adjustments to the fuselage, and we're ready to take some paying passengers here. Yeah. Taking passengers to Minmus. Okay, I've made some minor changes. I have moved these engines out to the edge of the wings, and I moved since these were in the way, I moved these out to this part of the wing. And we don't need to test those changes. Nah, those are very minor and unimportant changes that we don't need to test. So we're going to go ahead and find our first victims, passengers, for the journey to Minmus. I've also renamed it from the rather wonky name that I had originally given it to, since it's going to be a regular passenger ship, I'm going to call it the Minmus Shuttle Nike. Nike is the Greek god of victory. Greek goddess of victory. And let's find some victims. Let's see. Who has the lowest courage? Girly Kerman. Let's get him on the passenger seat. And we'll put Huddorf in there. Now we'll put Hanby in there. Okay. Let's make sure my action group for that is still set. Yes, it is. Good. Let's see. I don't think I need two of these. We're going to go with one of these. I really don't think I've got a lot of power needs. Yeah, I need to have enough power to run that light in front. That's about it. Okay. Make sure our victims are still on board. Nope, we'll just stick these guys on. Yeah, there you go. Okay, and let's launch. Make sure these, okay, they're in there. Let's put the brakes on a second. Yeah, see, really not a lot of room in here. Room to get up and stretch. Probably not enough room for a toilet. So they're going to be crapping those diapers all the way to Minmus and all the way back. And for right now, they're going to be crapping their diapers at Minmus too. So we're talking about probably 10 days in those diapers. How you feeling about that, dude? Feeling okay about that? Feeling positive? Got a good positive mental outlook? That's good. Okay, before we do anything, I want to go ahead and test. Make sure that these appears to be functional. Turn that back off. Unlock the brakes. Turn the jet engines on. Oh, what the hell's up with this? That was weird. Okay. Pull the gears up. And we go into the east with a red sky. You're full of hopes for the future. Okay, here's where the rubber meets the road. We're about to start transitioning into more or less horizontal flight fairly shortly. We can go ahead and start doing that a bit now. Don't need to worry about it too bad until we get to about 20,000 meters. Okay, 20,000 meters. Start getting not quite horizontal, just a little bit above horizontal. And it is very dark outside. Not that it even matters, I'm going on the nav ball. We need to pull it up a little bit. Don't want to go totally horizontal. We need to have a little bit of upward motion. But we're not quite yet at the point where we can really start picking up the pace here. Come on. Get up to about 25, and then we can really start booking. Here we go. Let's go ahead and get more horizontal. More horizontal than that. More horizontal, please. More horizontal, please. You're about to run out of air here, bud. Let's go ahead and get it horizontal. We're not going fast enough. Yeah, that's about right. Descending slightly. No, I'm descending. Come on. Okay. Good. Level it off. You want to stay right about here and just start picking up as much horizontal velocity as humanly possible. Not even worried about vertical velocity right now. Just totally worried about horizontal. Go ahead and turn on the nuclear engines. Speed is the name of our game. That's somewhat disorienting. Okay, am I getting any thrust at all from this guy? Very little. We'll go with it. Okay, yes, I am getting into orbit. I only get 20. I can shut this off too. No, I can't. What the fuck happened there? Okay. What the fuck happened there? It only turned on one engine. Let's try this again. Okay, basically we just drift up here, and then as it starts getting closer to 70 kilometers, we'll go ahead and give it some more gas. Yeah, I'll let you know when we're in orbit. It has been determined that there are a number of minor, very niggling little defects in manufacturing quality on the spacecraft, none of which is anything to worry about, guys. And so we're going to continue the mission to Minmus next time, and then once we get the spaceplane back home, we'll make a number of minor repairs, improvements, that sort of thing. But it's absolutely nothing you should be worried about now. Okay, you're golden. You're in good shape. You know, just don't breathe real hard. Okay, let's go ahead and have these guys pop out on EVA just for grins. Test the EVA capacity. These tourists have been EVA trained, so we have no particular qualms about them going out into space without any kind of safety equipment or harnesses or tethers or anything like that. That's not really something that we're concerned about, because we gave them EVA training. There's absolutely very minor possibility of them actually getting lost in space forever. Not something that's even worth thinking about, Not something that's worth worrying their pretty little head about. Yeah, see, we trained them well, even though they're tourists, and in their main life they are, accountants or newspaper reporters or something of the sort. Sometimes well, at least at one occasion, the maiden flight of a new form of air transportation was populated mostly by journalists. So we can assume that he's maybe a journalist, and that this is not, being an astronaut is not really his job per se, but we trained them adequately, I think. The 30-minute seminar we gave them on EVA flight training, I think, probably would be really sufficient in this case. Okay, now Yeah, he looks pretty happy. How far back can I look? Not very. You know, once we get this space plane back on the ground, we're actually going to put a parachute on the the passenger section as well as the pilot section. So that's something that you can look forward to on for whoever is doing the next flight. Something we forgot to put on this particular version. So if there is a problem on landing and the pilot has to deploy the parachute, it's really a parachute only for him. You know, it's again, nothing that you should worry about because it's not going to happen, right? Yeah, you're not worried. Oh, there's a pilot. Sweet. Come home soon. Okay, well, next time we are going to, that's kind of a wonky view. Thank you. Next time we are going to continue on our mission to Minmus. I believe we should have enough fuel. Only thing is that these engines do not put out a lot of thrust, so I will have to kind of figure out how long I'm going to have to burn well in advance of the time, because it's not like I can do a last-minute burn. I mean, I'm going to have to start burning, probably 3 minutes before the node. So, but anyway, all that's for next time. And until next time, hasta la vista. Adios. Screenshot. Okay, goodbye. Here's a little extra treat. After I finished recording the video, I thought to myself, well, I should make the smallest single-stage to Minmus space plane I can make, and that's what this is. Well, I'm going back up, aren't I? No, I'm not. So it's going to land right next to the miner and catch up on some Kethane, or some fuel actually. Probably in the beginning of the next video I will fly it back and see if it has some sort of horrible mishap. Okay, where are we going here? 1,000 meters up. I gotta be careful not to pick up too much velocity because I've just got these 2 kilo engines on it. And if I pick up too much velocity, it would be no bueno and may entail death. Okay, got a shadow. No, get back in there. Thank you. Okay, same deal here as with the other one, which is I get down to almost touching the surface. I pick up a little bit. I bend over. I turn it to the side. And touch down. Yeah, brakes on. Lights off. It's popping up a wheelie, but that's okay. It's like frozen there. That's weird. Yes, you can see what I've done here. I've what's his name? Huddorf Kerman, who's trying to steal the thunder from the new space tourism business. He's just got a rover chair there. He's got a framework to try to keep him in there when we go to re-enter. Again, we'll probably do the re-entry before we get the a regularly scheduled flight going to Minmus. Just to see if he has some sort of horrible destructive mishap or whether he will survive. Now, one thing I've learned with this thing, which will be coming in handy when it comes to flying the other, is these engines don't have much power, so you have to plan whatever you're going to do long ways ahead of time. So we'll have to just deal with that when the next time comes. Hop on out. There you go. No, I don't want to see his EVA propellant. Thank you. Step on out there, buddy. You earned that those boot prints on Minmus. Okay, that's all. Goofy guy. That's all for right now. Goodbye. Okay, goodbye. Okay, one last thing before we're done. Really, we'll be really done for this episode in just a moment. But I wanted to test refueling the Natterbug with the Kethane miner refueler, and this miner is really ungainly. So, unfortunately, it don't want to go anywhere real fast, at least not safely, and it doesn't steer real well. But we're coming in to try to dock with the Natterbug, see how this works. Again, we're approaching very slowly. And the nav ball is our friend. See, we have our prograde and our target indicator both in the same place. So hopefully that means we're about to dock up. And hopefully the whole thing is not going to start tumbling out of control. Hard for me to judge whether it actually is lined up or not. Alright. Just going slower. And now the program indicators all over the board. So we got to do it by sight. Okay. Tap the brakes once, twice. Okay. Just a little bit forward. Just a little bit. Like manatees in love. Okay. We're docked up. And we just fill these bad boys up with rocket fuel. And he'll be ready to launch back to back to that place. Kerbin, yes. Ready to launch back to Kerbin, and to whatever fate might await him. There still is just a dude on a rocket, so God only knows if we'll actually stay on that thing all the way through re-entry, but we'll find out next time. What's your name again, dude? Huddorf Kerman. It's important to know your name so I can put it on the tombstone. Okay. We'll give him a full belly full of fuel. And that's everything. Full, 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 and full. All right. That's all for this time, really, truly. And until next time, hasta la vista. Adios. Really, this is the end. This is the end this time. Honestly, not gonna restart the video. This is the end. Goodbye.